I started riding because I love it. Like now I just love it. It's just my life. It's that 1 minute, 2 minute thrill that you're in the arena. It is the first Omani youth team. And I was the only girl.
I am Budoor Abri, and this is Off the Field, a show where I talk to Arab women in sports. On this episode, Yaqeen Al Kindi discussed what it takes to be an equestrian. Enjoy the show. So, for those listening, what or who is an equestrian?
An equestrian is a person that rides horses, basically. There's multiple of disciplines: show jumping, dressage, flat race, endurance, tent pegging. Yeah.
Okay. So, why did you become an equestrian, or how did you even start?
The story.
We love stories over here.
Yeah. So basically, I was a young girl, like around 8-9 years old, and I used to do so many sports. Like in school, outside of school, after school activities. My mom made sure I was busy the whole day.
Yes.
And then my dad's partner's kids at work, they used to horse ride. So they were like, Yaqeen should try it out and stuff. So I went and I really liked it. And I rode for around 2 years. Just basic like trot, canter, walk, over poles, over like tiny fences. And then I stopped. After when I was 11, I completely stopped. I used to do other sports just in school, nothing outside of school. And then in 2019, I started horse riding again at the same place.
Okay.
And then in 2021, end of season 2020-2021, the owner of the stables I'm in right now, it's called the Rayan Stables, approached me, and he was like, I want you to ride in my stables. And I was very honored because, mashallah, the stable is very, very organized, and the training and the way they organize everything is top notch, especially for Oman. So I started professionally training at that time. We went back to square zero, you can say, like back to basics. I felt like I never rode ever in my life. And before that, I bought my horse and I used to compete. But when I started riding with them, I just felt like I didn't know anything, and they just taught me everything from the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah. And today, alhamdulillah, I compete abroad in Oman, internationally in Oman and outside of Oman.
Okay, and how long have you been an equestrian? So would you count yourself from you were very young, or just from 2019?
No, I would say from 2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how was the training before you joined the Rayan stables?
Very basic.
Okay.
Very minimal. I think I used to go 3 times a week only. Mm-hmm. Now I'm five times a week.
Wow, okay.
Sometimes when we have so many competitions, I can go to the stables 6 times a week.
MashaAllah.
And I used to I started riding because I love it. Like now I just love it. It's just my life.
So it doesn't feel like a job or anything.
It's not, yeah. I used to think it was just going to be a hobby. That's it. But now I really want it to be like a semi-career.
I can see
I'm
the
planning
passion
to
in your
work.
eyes. Okay. I can see the passion in your eyes.
Like I do want to work, but at the same time, the money to generate my horse riding expenses.
Yeah, I get you. Okay. So now that you're doing competitions, you're going internationally and obviously like regional. Yeah. What is your most memorable competition experience?
I think the one that I just did in Sharjah.
Okay.
It was the Youth GCC Games, and it was the first one.
Why is it memorable?
Because it is the first Omani youth team. And I was the only girl.
Okay.
Yeah, there were 3 boys and I was the only girl. And in the team categories, I was the only girl. There were the Saudis, the Qataris, the Emiratis, and the Omanis. Mm-hmm. And from that category, I was the only girl. And I felt like it was nice coming from Oman,
Yeah.
Like, wow, we appreciate women,
Yes, you represent.
Exactly, yeah.
And how did you do in that competition?
Personally, I feel like I did well.
That's nice.
And as a team, they performed the most they can. Yani, we did our best. We tried our best. We had like short notice and everything. And we weren't organized from our side. That's 100%. We were told super late, and it was Eid and Ramadan, and it was straight away after Eid. So, you know, the preparations and everything. But we tried our best. And we tried to work as a team more than just individual, to just have that team spirit. It makes everything feel better, and everyone had that sport instinct, and they don't blame each other when someone did something wrong or anything, although it was counted as a team. And it's just having a youth team says something about the future. You can say that, yeah.
That's nice. Also, as an equestrian, there's a lot of disciplines you explained in the beginning.
Yeah.
But why did you choose show jumping specifically?
I think it's a thrill.
Okay.
It's that 1 minute, 2 minute thrill that you're in the arena.
Tell me why. Tell me more.
So you practice for days to go into an arena for 2 minutes.
Is it 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's less, probably.
So sometimes for you to like go around and jump through all the like obstacles, I don't know what you call it. Fences. It's only 2 minutes.
Maybe less. Less, actually. No, 90 seconds, 80 seconds, 60 seconds sometimes, you know?
And like you trained 6 days for like months.
Exactly.
For 2 minutes.
For 2 minutes.
Wow. That's really impressive.
Yeah, and it's being between safe and dangerous. Okay. It's not 100% safe, and it's not 100% dangerous, you know?
Yeah, so it's in the middle.
Yeah.
It's just a thrilling
Yes,
space.
it is.
That's good. Okay, so you said that you bought your own horse already.
Yeah.
And you bought it before you decided to become professional, or was it after?
No, I think it was within the decision.
Oh, okay. So you're like, if I have my own horse, then I'll be maybe more serious.
I have 2 horses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
One is I Love You. His name is I Love You.
Oh, cute. Okay, cute. I was like, you love me?
Yeah, that's why his stable name is Future, for this reason.
Okay.
You know, because it was a bit, personally, it was a bit awkward telling people that his name is I Love You.
Oh.
Especially in Oman.
Yes.
But outside of Oman, his name is I Love You everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I just bought a really nice horse, alhamdulillah, around February. It was a birthday present from my parents.
That's nice.
Yeah, she's a mare, so something different.
Okay.
You know how girls are and how guys are. It's quite different, you know? So yeah, her name is Liana.
Liana. Okay,
Yeah.
nice. So you have I Love You and Liana.
Yeah.
Okay. But what did you say I Love You's name outside?
His Future is his local name and his stable name, basically.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So now that you have 2 horses, not even one, how do you build a strong bond with your horses enough for you to trust, you know, doing your jumps and all of that?
Bonding is a big part of my perspective in horse riding, because I enjoy the sport and I love the animal. Not everyone bonds with their horse in an emotional bond.
Yeah.
Maybe you ride and you're in sync with the horses. This is an instinct. This is a feeling. But I appreciate the bond of spending time with my horse in their room, in their stall, taking them out for walks and everything when I'm not riding or something. I feel like this bond creates the connection between you and your horse in a sense of, oh, I know my horse and my horse knows me.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just riding and that's it. It's like, it's teamwork,
Yes,
you know?
yes.
If you don't do it, you will get the job done. If you do it, you will get the job done, but maybe enjoy it a bit more.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
nice. That's a nice way. And do you train, I mean, when you go into competition, is it only Liana?
No, both of them.
Okay, so you have to go with your horse, basically.
Yeah. This is a very long system, but
Yes.
it's each stable and everyone's preference. Some people lease horses, some people buy horses, some people just use schooling horses. So it's just different dynamics with different stables. Basically.
And do you think the bond is different between a horse that's, like in your case, Future and Liliana, or a horse that you rent in the stable but you've been training with for so long, obviously?
Well, you buying a horse or you leasing the horse, it's the time you've spent together. It's the experience you gain together.
Gotcha.
So if I spend a lot of time with you, then I'll get to know you better.
Yes.
But if we just know each other for 2 minutes, then you know nothing about me, you know?
Yes,
it's the
definitely.
same thing, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then you said also when it comes to like jumping fences, there's the thrill you said about it, obviously.
Yes.
And I'm sure there's mental and physical demands for you to be able to do these jumps and trusting your horse and just the
Yeah.
whole process together. So how do you handle the physical and mental demands of the sport?
We'll start with the physical.
Yes.
There's a lot of falling in the sport.
No.
Yes.
No.
The sport,
Okay.
a majority of it is you falling off your horse.
Oh.
So it's getting back on and resetting.
Yes.
This is the first thing. And dealing with the pain that you go through. Sometimes I really get hurt. Like sometimes I would bruise.
What was the worst injury you had?
In summer, one of the summers. Normally in summer, I fall a lot.
Okay.
I don't know why.
It's a thing. In winter you don't. In summer you do.
It's a summer thing, yes. I think
So it's
because-
coming up, the season of falling.
Yeah. I do call it the season of falling. So I joke around with my friends a lot about it, actually. I remember there was a boy in our stables last summer. He was counting the times I fall. And he was like,
It's
wow,
like a
you
thing.
actually fall.
You have a new PR now.
Yes. Exactly. So it's recovering. It's the recovery period. I do physical therapy.
Okay.
I find it's very important, honestly, in my perspective, especially as a woman. And I don't know what the future holds. So
Yes.
me falling does affect my body. Maybe short term, maybe long term. I don't know that. That's something internal.
Yes.
And I work out.
Okay.
I
As
work out.
in the gym?
Yeah, in the gym.
Okay.
I do go to the gym and try to keep my stamina, but
Yes.
with the heat,
The
there's no
stamina's
such
keeping
thing
up.
as-
The stamina's like, I don't know how long I can keep up.
Yes. It's super hot now, and the sport I do is fully outdoor.
Outdoor, yeah. And what about the mental demands?
It's a mental game.
Okay.
The sport is a mental game. Your anxiety reflects on your horse. That's 100%.
So it
Your
can
horse
kind of
feels
sense
you.
and feel your
Yes,
energy.
Yes,
Okay.
it does. I think it's with all animals, but horses are super sensitive about these things. When you're nervous, your horse could sense it.
Okay.
Could sense. For example, sometimes you just have to be a bit tough with them and stuff. They do know if I do something wrong, the person on top of me, would they punish me for it or will they just let it go? They're like kids.
Oh.
They're basically like kids. So if a kid cries and you give them candy, or they want candy and you give them candy, they will keep on crying.
Yes.
So you give them candy. But if you say no and let them cry, they will never do it again.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same thing with horses.
That's a very interesting way of looking at it.
Yeah.
All right. And so, obviously, dealing with the mental and the physical demands of the sport, what has been the most rewarding aspect of your career as an equestrian so far?
The most rewarding, I think it's representing Oman in general. You know?
Yeah.
It's just nice to represent your country and represent yourself. And making my mom smile, actually, my parents.
That's so
when I
cute.
win, she's the happiest person.
That's so cute.
She might not see me in the arena all the time. She's there at big competition, but she'll give her phone to someone and they would take a video and she might turn around and not watch me ride, but she'll always be happy if I win or anything.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's really nice. And now you're a uni student.
Yeah.
Yes. And obviously you have your personal life. You're a girly, and also you go to the gym and you have to
Yeah.
train. You're an equestrian. You represent the girly equestrians in Oman. You go international. You have regional. The list goes on and on and on. MashaAllah. So how do you balance competition, training, personal life, especially being in uni? How do you balance it all?
Alhamdulillah, since I started riding, the educational institutions that I am in are super supportive.
Okay, that's good.
Yes,
Alhamdulillah.
I give my uni so much credit because I skip a lot of classes.
Let's not preach that.
Yeah, but
to the girl, though. I'm joking, yes.
but the uni is so supportive.
Okay.
يعني I can't thank them enough for maybe doing the impossible for me,
Yes.
skipping finals. You know, it reached to that extent. And I skipped 2 weeks of uni.
Okay.
Yeah, but the teachers are there. They would record classes. I would communicate with my teachers. They would never tell me, "Oh, you skipped a class, خلاص."
That's it.
That's it, yeah.
Okay.
So-
So do you make up for it? Obviously, like learning from distance, for example,
Yeah,
and
of course.
e-learning and stuff like that.
Of course, yeah.
Okay, that's
I
really good.
do a lot of that.
That's really good. You have support system.
Yes.
Like school, home, and all that.
Yeah.
That's really
And
good.
I think my dad is very strict on time management.
I love that
So
for you.
he's very like, you need to focus on uni. Okay, you horse ride. We do this, but you also need to focus on yourself and on horse riding. So I have a strict schedule. Some days I don't sit at home.
Oh wow.
Like I go back from uni, go to the gym, go straight to horse riding, and then come back home. I'm exhausted.
Yeah, you're finished.
خلاص.
Yeah.
I go shower. Even my brothers look at me sometimes and they're like, "Are you okay?" Although they never ask, but are you okay
It's the
today?
eyes.
Yes.
Are you okay?
I'm like, "خلاص, I just want to go back home and sleep. I just
I
want to go to bed
understand.
and sleep." Yeah.
I understand. And now, obviously, you're very busy, and it takes a lot of mental preparation for a competition, or like even like just an intense training day, for example.
Yeah.
So let's say you have a big competition coming up. So how do you mentally prepare? If there's a routine, if there's something
There's no routine.
Okay,
There's no routine to mentally preparing because you don't know what happens.
that's very interesting.
It's
How do you get into the zone?
I first stay away from negative vibes
Yeah.
in general.
Yeah.
Negative people. You know, some people will throw words to you.
Yes.
You can do this. You can't do this. You know, just stay away from that. And also having good support.
Mm-hmm.
Like my parents and my coach. The owner of the stable plays a big part in this.
Okay.
Yeah, he's super supportive. He's always like, it's fine. Whatever you do, we'll always be happy.
That's
We'll
so
always be
sweet.
proud.
That's so
Yes.
sweet.
The same thing
Yeah.
with my parents. So I feel like not having the stress from your surrounding calms you down. And personally, this is my personal preference. When I don't think about the course or the competition way too much, I do so much better. So if I think of it as a practice show, not an actual show, I do so much better because my nerves are so calm. I'm so calm. Whatever happens, happens.
Okay.
And I always think what the worst thing that can happen in the arena is I fall.
Okay.
And everyone where I compete saw me fall 100 times. So it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone who knows you.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's just part of the horse riding committee that it's fine to fall.
Yeah.
In front of people, no one's going to be like, you fell. Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
But also, like, let's talk a bit more about the competition as an equestrian, because show jumping, let's take show
Yeah.
jumping, for example. I personally don't know. Like, can you tell us from the beginning to end, like, how many times do you go around the arena? Is there a lot of tries? Is it different from competition to another? Because you said it's like a 2 minutes kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, you've been training for like months.
Yes.
So, like, give us one example of one.
Okay, so there are types of competitions.
Okay.
There's the jump off, there's the 2 rounds, there's the 2 face, there's the accumulator. You know, so there are different types of competitions. But let's go one round, just a normal competition, which is most used, you can say. So we would arrive and the course would be ready. There's a course designer. My coach is a course designer also. So the course is designed with numbers. It has numbers and you walk. You walk the course. You have around, I think, 15 minutes to
On your
walk the
feet?
course.
You walk.
On your feet,
Okay,
yes.
okay.
You count your strides. You plan. That's the planning stage.
Okay.
So you plan your next move. And then the horses get ready and the grooms or yourself, you bring them. And then there's a practice arena. So it's an arena close to the competition arena. You warm up like any other sport. So you would trot and canter just slowly with the horse to just keep them warmed up. It's like humans, you know? And it's also for yourself. And then we jump a couple of fences, around 5 to 7 fences maximum. And then the course, and then we enter the course in a specific order. So you already know the order you're gonna go in. So they would tell you it's your turn now, and you go into the arena, and there's the time. You have a specific time, and there's judges obviously, and every pole you drop is a 4 fault.
Oh.
And if a horse refuses, stops to jump, like it doesn't want to jump, you also get 4 faults. But then you can jump it again.
How many faults are you allowed to have?
You're allowed to have as many faults as you want. You can jump the whole course.
So the more faults you have, obviously,
The
bad you
Yes,
basically your
yes.
progress was. Okay.
But it's a horse. If a horse stops, then you get 4 faults. But you have 1 more chance to jump that fence.
Okay.
Okay? But if it stops again, you get eliminated.
Ah.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
If you fall, you get eliminated. There's no second chance for falling.
Okay.
And what else?
How many rounds can you do the arena?
Once.
Okay.
Yes. It's from 1 to 12, 1 to 11, sometimes 1 to 13.
Wow.
Yeah, so you have those and you have a specific time. And the time is...
For you to finish the whole arena?
Yes.
Okay.
So the best time and the last fault wins.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
So if you have a fast horse, then... A fast, careful horse is everything that every equestrian wishes for.
Fast, careful horses.
Yes, fast, careful horse.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
We're gonna go on a quick break and we'll be back. But once we are back, Yaqeen is gonna talk about her. She's gonna give us tips and tricks on how to ride better, and also she's gonna tell us more about how to overcome fear and anxiety while riding. We're gonna go on a break and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Off the Field. I am Budoor Al Abri, and joining me in the studio today is Yaqeen Al Kindi, who is a professional equestrian. So just before the break, you were telling us how a horse jumping competition is, basically the jumping show, and what goes down, basically. And just before that, you actually explained that a horse can sense your energy, and they can feel if you're scared, they get scared. If you're anxious, they get anxious. Can you share any tips for overcoming fear or anxiety while riding a horse? In my experience, it was just riding on the beach. So you can tell us from like a beginner or you so far. Do you get even anxious anymore?
Around horses, never.
Okay.
When I'm in a stable, even if horses I don't know, I'm totally fine with that.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Our horses at the stables are very well mannered. You can say they don't bite, they don't kick, they won't bother you.
Okay.
They won't try to bite or try to bother a human. But there's a lot of horses that would. I'm not saying they wouldn't. As much as they're gentle and they're giant. But some horses were abused by a lot of owners. Some horses are mistreated. Some horses are underfed. And I'm not talking outside. I'm talking here. There's some are just not well groomed.
Yeah.
And this affects the horse's mentality or the horse's behavior more than mentality. So try to be in a good environment with the horses. So the not the calmer, but the more relaxed, the sweeter you are to a horse, I think they would be sweet to you.
Okay. That's a good tip.
Yeah.
I'll next time in maybe 2 years when I go horse riding again. 2 years, then 2 years break, and then I'll go back again.
They don't see in front, by the way. This is a blind spot.
Oh really?
Yeah. So they see like from here till I don't know the exact measurements, but straight in front they don't see.
That is very interesting.
Yeah.
So if you're in front of them, they can't see you.
Like they have a blind spot. Like straight in front, it's a blind spot.
That's very interesting.
Like you can see the whole room, right? They would have a gap.
Oh, because the way they're...
Yes, the way they're... Yeah.
Oh, that's very interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I learned something new.
So don't just,
appear out of nowhere. Okay.
They will jump. They're super dramatic, by the way.
Are they?
They're super dramatic.
Then they're the right animals for me.
Yes, they're drama queens.
I love it for me.
Like they would spook from a cat.
Anything. Oh, really?
Yeah, like imagine a horse is scared of a cat.
A horse, a huge horse.
Yes. A quick story. When the place I ride in is a kind of a farm. It's a farm, so they used to have other animals. So once a goat ran away.
Tell me all the horses were scared.
My horse froze.
Oh wow.
Yes, he just froze.
Wow.
He wasn't I don't know if he was terrified or what, but he just froze and he refused to move.
Horses are me if I was an animal.
Like if they step on plastic, they would jump away.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So they're really scared.
They're super dramatic.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
So, okay, talking more about being an equestrian, what are your future goals? So now you're an equestrian, and hopefully, inshallah, more wins, more competition,
Inshallah.
representing Oman even more. What are your goals?
My goal is to do the best I can. Do the most I can, the best I can. An average age of an equestrian is around 36, 35, by the way.
So your career is done by then?
No, that's the average age.
Okay.
So people ride till they're 60.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, that's
It has no age limit. It's one of the only sports that a 10-year-old could be friends with a 60-year-old. Because they have something in common.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, they compete in the same class.
That's very interesting.
Yes, sometimes I compete with my coach.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or other people, other stables coaches. We're in the same class. They're way more experienced
age
than me.
doesn't matter, basically.
Yes, age doesn't matter.
Okay.
Age and gender doesn't matter in the sport.
Okay.
Yes.
Speaking of that, of gender, how has the sport, being an equestrian, evolved since you started? And what changes do you hope to see in the future, especially from a woman's point of view?
Honestly, in the equestrian world, especially show jumping, women were never put aside.
Okay.
Yes, it was always a sport, a woman and a man against each other. And a lot of women are better than hundreds of men. They ride, they have the courage, they have the heart, they have the experience. So there's no segregation in that sense.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter, you're a woman, you're a man.
Okay.
It really doesn't matter. And when I started, I wasn't the only girl. There was another girl, Sheikha Touqi, and from the Omanis, I think it was her and Samah and Shadia at that time, but Samah and Shadia don't ride anymore. But it was, and then there were a couple of non-Omani women.
Okay.
But now, and then Amna Sharji.
Yes.
Amna used to ride, and then she stopped for a while, and then she came back again. We came back around the same time.
Okay.
To ride. So now there's so many more girls.
Yes.
Now there are girls I don't even know.
Wow.
So many juniors.
So
I can say
the community, the female community in being an equestrian is even more getting bigger.
And there's a stable that's purely for women in Oman. Yeah. But they do endurance.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's only female. They have just cast timings just for female.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. So it evolved a lot.
Okay.
A lot. Everyone is riding. I don't know if you realized. At some point, I thought it was just...
everyone got on a group chat, and they were like, okay, so the new thing now is us riding horses. I missed that by a year, but then I caught up, and I was like, what's this group chat that I'm not in? Everyone was riding horses at some point.
Okay. I think I know the secret.
Yes.
Corona time, everything was closed except stables. Stables were up and running.
Makes sense.
Yes. So I think people took it as an advantage to start horse riding and everything.
Okay.
So I think that's why. That's
basically the secret.
Yeah, that's basically the secret of why everyone started horse riding.
Okay, so now that obviously you said a lot of girls are into horse riding, and you've been doing it for a hot minute, since 2019 professionally. Yeah. So what advice would you give young girls aspiring to become equestrians?
Avoid bad energy.
Okay.
Yes, that's the first thing. Though I might say it's a very toxic community. It's not the best community. The horse riding community is not 100% the best community.
Why do you say that?
In so many senses, because there's so much. Or some people don't accept that other people are better than them. So sometimes your experience reflects, and sometimes you ride so much, but another person comes into the horse riding world, buys a really nice horse, a very nice horse, and competes in the big classes. Yes, he doesn't have the mileage, but he's competing in the big classes
because of the horse.
Because he has a nice horse.
Yeah.
So
Okay, interesting.
it's that. It's also the acceptance, the challenge. But what I saw in Oman, when we leave Oman, we're a team.
Oh, okay.
It's so much more peaceful when you're out of Amman than here.
Okay.
You know?
So you're telling girls to basically
avoid bad energy, and also the myth of horse riding, that if a girl horse rides, she's not a virgin. It's a big issue here. A lot of girls would tell me, how do your parents let you? My mom got a lot of hate between people. My mom is a Quran teacher.
Okay.
So a lot of people are like, how do you let your daughter dress like this? Because I'll be honest, our horse riding clothes are not very modest. They're tight pants. They show a bit of the structure of your body. So a lot of Omanis are against this. And the Omani mentality of a woman not dressing well is just, it's an ongoing thing. It will never stop. It's our society. We have to accept it. So I try to make it as modest as I can by covering up, by wearing clothes over clothes, Sometimes I have to do that just to show, be modest. And I think talking to your parents, getting them to like the sport, and avoid the myth of a woman is not a virgin if she horse rides.
Okay, and how did you convince your mom, or was your mom did not need convincing for you to? Okay, that's great.
She didn't. She never. She was. My mom is the type, if you're happy, and you're doing it in a modest way, and you're trying your best to cover up, I'm happy.
Okay.
Although I had a couple of my relatives would go to my mom, why would you let your daughter do this? What's this? Whatever. And they always say, you're a Quran teacher and you do this and everything. My mom's like, it doesn't make sense. She loves it. I prefer my daughter being in horse riding than going around. The world is so corrupted.
Yes.
I don't want her to be there. She's happy with her horses at the stables. She's like, my daughter never goes out. she barely has a social life. I'm happy like this.
Bless her.
Yeah. So I think that's a big part of why my parents just let me horse ride. Sometimes I would stay at the stables till 8-9 o'clock at night.
That's really nice. Like, bless your parents really and truly for having faith in you and trusting you, and also just basically you have a very good support system that allows you to, practice the sports that you want to practice and excel in it to the point that you're doing international jumping shows and in Oman, and you're in a good stable. And best of luck with that.
But I think it's your parents.
Yeah.
If your parents are mad at you, then nothing's gonna work.
Alhamdulillah, that's really nice.
Yes, that's actually that's the reality,
Yeah.
If your parents are not happy, then nothing is ever gonna work. Nothing's gonna come your way.
True. That's
so
factual.
like I always tell, like, I'm so thankful about, maybe I don't show it to my mom and tell her, Mama, thank you and everything. But we would drive, like, I remember the first time I went to Sharjah, it was 3 weeks.
Wow.
And I had uni, so I used to go and come back, and she would be with me in the car.
Oh, bless her.
All the time. I used to compete because their holiday is on a Sunday. So I used to compete and leave straight away. I would be dead. I just finished my rant. I'd be so tired.
So sweet.
She'd drive back. Mind you, my mom looks young, but she's not so young.
Aww.
So,
Your mom is so sweet.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Look straight down your camera. Which camera? Is it that camera?
Yes.
Look straight down the camera and be like, Mama.
Thank you for everything. Both of my parents, actually.
Mom and Dad.
Yes, thank you for everything. I would say that. And I'd say a big thanks to the owner of the stable.
Straight down the camera.
Yes, straight down the camera for all three of them, صراحة, honestly.
Alright. Thank you, Yaqeen, for taking time and actually coming into the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
And sharing your experience and advising all the young girls. That was Yaqeen Al Kindi. And can you tell people where they can find you on socials?
My equestrian account is eq.alyaqeen.
eq.alyaqeen.
Yes.
Thank you very much for listening.